The Brink's robbery was always something that I was interested in as a child. And I wanted to, I was always fascinated by these real-life Robin Hoods who robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. I mean, they robbed the Brink's company, which was a pushover, and they gave the money to friends and relatives to open little garages and grocery stores and gas stations, and it was the thin line between the policeman and the criminal that was sort of my theme, you know. It's true of French Connection and Sorcerer to some extent, and the Brink's job as well, but it was that thin line between what makes a decent guy and what makes a hardened criminal. We went and filmed in the actual place where the robbery had taken place. And I had the Brink's robbers as technical consultants. So they told me everything about how they did it.
All right, boys, get them in the air.
Come on, get them up. Now get over here and open this thing.
Put them in the air and do what you're told. No one will get hurt. Now get over there and open that gate.
Open the door. On the floor. Put your head up.
You're inside the actual spot where the Brink's vault was when it was robbed in 1950. This is the building, this is the same door, and this is the room in here. Everything that you see here is an exact reconstruction of the way the vault room was when it was robbed. Now, for a good number of years, it wasn't like this. This place was empty. It was kind of a ruin, and was just sort of an empty garage. And what we did was, according to the old plans, we recreated this room and the counting rooms and the rooms where the trucks are kept and everything else exactly according to specifications, so that this area is where the safe was, and it was exactly in this spot, in this room, 28 years ago.
Billy knew what he wanted, and he was firm in waiting until he got it. As far as his relationship with the actors is concerned, it depended on who the actor was. It's a person-to-person thing. But technically, he was very innovative, and he was one of the first people to use the Steadicam, to use a camera that could follow you from room to room and go around corners and without laying miles and miles of dolly track. And he used it very effectively, and I, as a fellow director, found myself learning a great deal from his technique.
Just what exactly does the statute say?
Well, Mr. Director, it seems the Bureau has no real jurisdiction. No federal money was involved as far as we can tell.
How about the Coast Guard, National Parks, Forest Service?
One bag apparently contained checks from the Veterans Administration.
That should bring us in.
Well, the statute requires that the theft be of cash, not less than $100 in order to come under our jurisdiction.
And for Christ's sake, less than $100 in cash, and let's get on with it.
Yes.
Peter Falk was the only actor I ever thought about to play Tony Pino. Peter has a great range from comedy to drama. He can break your heart or he can make you laugh. He was on the nose casting for that role, and wonderful.
It is, moreover, the supreme headquarters of a privately owned armored force that operates throughout the United States and Canada. Behind its 27-inch walls are iron-barred vaults and arsenals of machine guns, carbines, and assorted small arms. What a load of shit.
Billy would tease me affectionately in the rushes because he thought my performance in the Brink's job was a definite shoo-in for a supporting actor award. And he would embarrass me in the rushes when we'd be watching the dailies. He would say, "The envelope, please."
Action. You know what that means? We take her any Friday, it's $1 million each.
Who'd ever thought they kept that kind of dough in here?
Nobody would have thought. Except me and my brother-in-law, Tony Pino.
the greatest thief who ever lived. No,
Alan's a very skilled actor. I saw him do a film years ago that was almost semi-pornographic. It was called Cry Uncle, and it's pure genius. I'd always wanted to work with Alan, and you know, he just convinced me that his very comic presence would work. But Vinnie Costa objected to it. He said, because Alan at that time was huge, he was fat, and Vinnie Costa didn't want to be portrayed as a buffoon. And a buffoon is what I wanted, and Alan Garfield was perfect.
Right! Outside! This is my score, Tony! Outside! Move! Move! Horse's egg! My score, Tony Red! Get up!
One day, an old fellow would go up to where Peter had his trailer, and we had a fellow guarding the trailer named Mike Torella, a neighborhood guy, and this old gentleman came up and he had some lasagna, some homemade lasagna, and he said, Mikey, he said, hey, my wife will make lasagna for Mr. Columbo. You give him Mr. Columbo? And Mikey said, I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him, Joey. Don't worry about it. I'll give it to him. And this fella came around 5 or 6 times, and finally we're about to wrap and leave, and Mikey got Peter to sign a picture to this gentleman. The gentleman goes up to Mikey, says, Mikey, Mr. Columbo see me now? And Mikey said, well, Joe, you know, he had to leave, but he said he wanted you to have this autographed picture. And he gives him the picture, and it says, to Joey, with all my best wishes, from Peter Falk. And the old gentleman looked at this, he said, Peter Falk. He said, Peter Falk. He said, who's it at? Mikey said, well, that's Columbo. That's his real name. He said, is the name not Columbo? He said, no. He says, is it not Italian? He said, no. The guy ripped the picture up and threw it back.